Hello, Provo City. This is Superintendent Dow. I'm the superintendent of Provo City School District. Today is Friday, January 12th, 2024. I hope all of you are enjoying a 5-day weekend with your students. There is no school on Friday, January 12th, no school on Monday, January 15th. It is Martin Luther King Day. Tuesday, January 16th is a professional development day and preparation day for our teachers. School will resume again on Wednesday, January 17th. So we look forward to seeing you then. We have a ton of celebrations that I would like to highlight. First and foremost, I would like to recognize Kathy Messenbrink, who is a third grade teacher at Provo Peaks Elementary. She was the Utah State Board of Education Science of Reading teacher recipient. There were only 8 teachers in the entire state who received this award. And USBE showed up at Provo Peaks and honored her. So just want to thank her for all of the work that she's doing with our third graders. Second, I would like to recognize Principal Griffin at Independence High School. Independence High School has been under a comprehensive support and improvement plan as a result of their graduation rate. They have worked, their entire staff has worked tirelessly to turn this around for the past few years, and they have done it. And so they have exited from this comprehensive support and improvement status. And so just want to give them a huge congratulations for all of their efforts to really make sure that Independence High School is providing access to all of the opportunities that we want for our students. I also want to recognize Jan Jardine. She was a recipient of the ACTE National Lifetime Achievement Award. She is a huge pillar of our CTE program, providing support to the Provo CAPS program, as well as to CTE programs in elementary and middle school. So just congratulations to her. And finally, Brooke Mangum, who is an 8th grader at Dixon Middle School. I think we highlighted her last week with the podcast. Find Your Swing. Just want to make sure that we are recognizing her for designing our pin that's tied to our theme for the year. So just congratulations to all of these individuals. Also wanted to give you a quick update on board meeting that took place on Tuesday, January 9th. There were 3 policies that were addressed in board meeting in study session. You can go in and review them. The first one was inclusive learning environments policy. We brought this back to the study session of the board meeting because there was a lot of feedback, and we wanted to give an opportunity to discuss and talk about that feedback. We also talked about student travel and some changes to that, including the current maximum charge for travel is $1,700. Because of inflation and rising travel costs, we have increased that to $2,000. Most trips are well under that, just to be aware of that. But I did want you to note that change. And the last policy is we are trying to put in place in e-bikes and kind of motorized personal vehicles on school property because it has brought up some safety concerns. Those 3 policies are on our website, so you can go to provo.edu, and then there is a button that you can push called Policies, Forms, and Documents. It will pull up the draft policies, and then you can go in and submit your feedback electronically on those policies. That feedback will be gathered through Friday, January 19th. At that time, then I will compile a summary of all of that and forward all of that feedback onto the board. So they'll both see the feedback that individual constituents provide, and then I also provide a summary to them, and the policy committee will then be reviewing all of that on Monday, January 22nd. And then they take that and discuss it and then make additional changes or recommendations so that then those policies can come back before the board in February. So I will keep you updated with all of those, but we would love to hear your comments. If you have concerns, things that we need to take into account that we have not, we want to hear from you. At board meeting, we also talked about lunchtime schedules. We've had some concerns expressed by elementary and middle school parents that our lunchtime is not long enough. And so we are working on that. We just wanted our patrons to know in board meeting, it just takes a lot of logistics because of the supervision that is required, how it changes the master's schedule. It changes when instructional assistants can work with students. So the direction that we're giving to principals is that we do have to have this in place for the 2024-2025 school year. In the meantime, I want principals to be getting feedback from their school community councils and from their PTAs so that we can ensure that we are listening to all voices. They're going to be working with the child nutrition workers, working with instructional aides. We have to watch people's hours and make sure we have the right support for our students in that process. So we are responding to the concerns. We have heard you. We are listening. Please note, and we appreciate your patience as we try to work through all of the logistics of that. We also talked about the Dixon Middle School site. We have scheduled 2 meetings for the Dixon neighborhood. One will be on January 25th at 6:00 p.m. at Timpanogos Elementary. We will have Spanish translation available there, so we want to really encourage our Spanish-speaking families to attend this meeting. We will also have another meeting on January 31st at 6:00 p.m. at Dixon Middle School in the auditorium. And the purpose of this is just so that I can provide some information about some of the needs that we have as a district, and then also just really listen to the neighborhood about the concerns and the desires that they have and make sure that we're meeting those, and then start to create some solutions that meet all of these needs and that demonstrate our financial responsibilities as well. So I want you to know that that was discussed and that we are moving forward with those 2 meetings. We also discussed drawing up schematics for Timpview High School's arts wing, the I wing, the administration and cafeteria sections of the building. That was not part of the phase of construction that we just finished. So we need to also look at that in the long term and start looking at plans for what does our district need overall. And then we start looking at that with our capital facilities committee. We start looking at how we finance that. And start taking that into consideration as we plan in the next few years. So just wanted you to be aware of those conversations that took place in board meeting on Tuesday. I also want to thank you for your patience as we're rolling out a new inclement weather policy. We're trying to be more proactive in informing families and employees the night before. I also know that there was much frustration. I appreciate you reaching out. Please give us feedback. We are always trying to improve. There are things we need to do better. I'm hoping that the earlier notice is helpful. I sense that there was some confusion, so I'm working with our communications team and we will get it right. And please know that our job is to make sure that students are safe, that our employees are safe, but we want to hold school. And so I need to hear from you. If there's something that isn't going right, please make sure that you email me, wendyd@provo.edu. I'd love to hear from you and to hear your perspectives on the situation. So I'm going to check my list here and make sure that I have covered everything. Oh, last thing, I just want to thank all of our bus drivers and bus aides and our cafeteria workers and all of our office staff who, even when it is a late start, they're scrambling and trying to figure things out. And when there's bad weather, they have to field a lot of questions, and just want to thank them for helping us communicate with our constituents and our parents and our families. So a huge shout out to them. So with that, I want to wish all of you a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.